In this Chiron tutorial, we will take you through a series of simple, basic steps for creating the on-air scenes to use in a TV production show. We will be using a Chiron for a character generator, commonly known as a CG, along with the Lyric Pro 8.6 software in order to provide the necessary tools to create the graphic scenes. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create a lower third using a template, create an over-the-shoulder graphic scene, animate text along with rolling credits, and generate a playlist for your show. Before we begin, you will need to locate the graphics that you'll use for the scene. On the computer hard drive, you will select the media drive, also known as the D drive. This is where you'll always save your media folder, which will contain the asset files needed for your show. Now let's briefly go over the Lyric program by double-clicking on the Lyric icon. Once the program opens, you'll see the tab toolbar on the very top, along with an array of tool icons displayed for your convenience. We will be focusing on the text tool, the import graphics tool, the change background tool, and the group and ungroup tool. In the properties window, we will be using the XYZ tab in order to position, rotate, scale, and provide dimension to our text and graphics. The timeline window provides you a chronological order of what will play on the scene. The Scene Graph window lets you see the working graphics for that particular scene in layer format. The Scene Tree window provides a navigational overview of where you're at in that particular scene. Lastly, the Browser window is where all of your assets are located once you create your graphics or import them from your media folder in order for you to retrieve or recall during your show.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Berlin Board of Education meeting. This is our
I'd like to call the meeting to order and begin by having the Pledge of Allegiance. And Meredith? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Town Council meeting. And our first item on the agenda is a presentation and recognition, a proclamation for Tim Vibert. John?
Pleasant Valley Drive-In has long been a staple of northwestern Connecticut, but recently it's facing closing its gates for good. January 1st is being called the Go Digital or Go Dark Day. Older movie theaters still using traditional film reels will be forced to switch to digital. The switch is affecting all types of theaters, but drive-ins are getting hit especially hard. With only 2 drive-ins left in Connecticut, there could soon be only 1. The reason theaters have to switch is because distributors will not be providing film versions of movies any longer.
As of December 31st this year, all movies will come on a hard drive, not 35mm film anymore. And a lot of these little drive-ins run on 35mm.
In an attempt to solve their problem, Pleasant Valley entered in a contest to win a projector.
Honda was running a contest to give away 5 of these projectors. People could go online or text and vote every day for their favorite drive-in.
However, not all drive-ins were told about the contest, and Pleasant Valley didn't find out about it until it had already started. The drive-in ended up losing 9 precious days of voting. The owners were still hopeful that lost time could be made up for, but in the end it didn't work out, and they were back to where they started. Now they will have to find another way to replace the outdated projectors.
And they were actually built probably in the late 30s. They had a home on a World War II Navy ship. They were purchased at an auction in Boston by the owners of the drive-in at that time, in about 1947, I believe. And then they found their way here, and they've been plugging away movies since then.
While the projectors may have a rich history, they do little good for the theater as it pushes further into the digital age. The new projector the theater needs is $75,000. That's not the only cost, though. The theater would also have to pay to have their projection room upgraded.
I would need to update my projection room. It needs to be dust-free for the hard drives, and also I would need to upgrade my electrical system.
The owners would also have to figure out how to get the old projectors out, which could add up. There is no doubt the closing of the cinema landmark will have an impact on the local community. In the summer, the parking area gets packed with loyal customers.
Me and my family would be kind of devastated because this is always a great place to come out and hang out when there's nothing else to do.
Not everything is grim for the drive-in, though. Since Pleasant Valley is closed until the spring, they have a few extra months to switch over. The owner is hopeful that they will be open again next spring.
And I've got a lot of people donating money and offering their help free of charge. Long winter, a lot of work ahead of us, but we will definitely be open next year. No matter how we do it, we'll be open next year.
Fundraising will continue during the off-season with support of the local community. This has been Adam Deers-Enders reporting in Park Hempstead. Just hours after the first day of school, 15-year-old student Bart Pelosi took his own life. And now the community is asking themselves why. Many are blaming bullying. It's no wonder why people are blaming his death on bullying. The teen was reportedly bullied as far back as middle school. Janya Padilla works for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. The organization provides resources for those affected by suicide.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention does a ton of stuff when it comes to suicide prevention. They fund research all across the spectrum. They provide educational programs free of charge to high schools and universities.
And in those educational programs, they teach what the many factors that contribute to suicide are.
A leading indicator of suicide or a suicidal attempt is mental illness.
And mental illness is diagnosable and treatable. Many people who are bullied do not have suicidal ideations and do not attempt suicide.
Suicide prevention is a very personal topic for her. 6 years ago, her brother took his own life.
Served 2 tours in Iraq and 1 in Kuwait. Young guy, handsome, gregarious, artistic.
Now her message is simple.
Since we lost him, I personally have made it my mission to help everyone I can. And my family supports me, and that's why we have a foundation.
American Foundation for Suicide Prevention are not the only ones working to prevent suicides. In the wake of this tragedy, the students at Greenwich High School have begun making change. And while the school is not allowed to formally comment on Pelosi's death yet, they have told us that the students are forming clubs to connect students to make them feel like they belong. They have also created a tips line so that students can give each other tips anonymously.
It's okay to ask for help. Suicide is preventable.
Investigation into the teen's death will continue. This has been Adam Dirzendez reporting from Greenwich High School.
Connecticut's top 10 hiking trails can offer a great hiking experience. The Indian Council Caves Trail based in Barkhamsted, Connecticut is part of Tunxus Trail System. It features hidden caves, acres of forest, and beautiful views, all stretched along a 4.2-mile trail. This trail is a great place to start that requires a beginner to moderate skill level. Other top trails include Bear Mountain State Park, Ragged Mountain Preserve Trail, the Appalachian Trail, the Devil's Den Concourse, and the Hanging Hills Trail.
The city is working with a developer to completely redesign the downtown area. This historic milestone promises about 200 apartments and 60,000 square feet of retail space. Renaissance is listening to their community of Bristol to fully customize the abandoned area to best fit their needs. The Downtown Master Concept Plan broke ground earlier in 2012, and construction on the new additions will begin shortly.